Moments away from game one. 57 degrees outside, 68 Fahrenheit inside the dome. The roof is closed as David Price gets set to make his first postseason start as a member of the Blue Jays. Acquired on July 30th, third pitcher in Major League history to win at least 9 games for 2 teams in the same league in the same season. Led the American League in earned run average. Has been terrific in his 11 starts as a member of the Blue Jays. But in the postseason with the Tampa Bay Rays, defeats. A look at Price's career numbers against the Texas Rangers. 3-4 during the regular season, 0-3 in the postseason. Rangers finished with a record of 88-74. Their batting order today: DELINO, DESHIELDS will lead off, followed by Shin-Soo Choo. ADRIAN, BELTRE bats third. Prince Fielder in the cleanup spot. Then Mike Napoli, Josh Hamilton will hit sixth. Bottom of the order: ELVIS, ANDRUS, Rudned Odor, and Robinson Chirinos. For first-year manager Jeff Bautista. First postseason game here in Toronto since October 23rd, 1993. Game 6 of the World Series against Philadelphia as DeShields takes ball 1. DeLino DeShields making his postseason debut. Fastball in for a called strike.
I'll tell you what, the radar guns might say 93, but it sounds a lot louder than that. He's popping the glove early.
DeShields. For coverage of today's game in Spanish, please tune in to Fox Deportes.
Pressure begins right away with DeShields leading off. When he gets on base, he scores 49% of the time. That leads the major leagues.
He's 0 for 3 lifetime against Price. The 2-1. Center field, Pilar. 1 away.
The wrong man to hit the ball too right there. Take a look at the Jays defense. You know, Pilar, to me, he's going to win a Gold Glove. I mean, you're talking about the defense he's put out there. The biggest change, you look at the infield: Donaldson, Tulowitzki, Goins, and Smoke. Nice infield. They catch the ball, they turn double plays. In the outfield, Bautista and Rivera go get the ball like Pilar did right there. But Russell Martin, Tom, has been the difference maker on this defense.
Yeah, not just defensively, in that clubhouse as well.
One away as Shin-Soo Choo steps in. Tremendous month of September. And the American League Player of the Month. Tied his career high this season with 22 home runs. And how about this? First player since Willie Mays in 1958 to lead baseball in all of the categories listed in the month of September. Pretty good company.
Well, it's actually interesting to see 4 left-handed hitters in the lineup against Price, but he has reverse splits. Left-hander 65 points higher. Why? That changeup is a weapon against right-handed hitters.
Well, I like the fact that he has mixed in that changeup now, and you saw the breaking ball right here. David Price is not the same David Price you saw a couple years ago. Just here's my fastball, hit it. He's made the adjustment in the turn. That's why he's been so successful.
Price pitching on 11 days rest. His last start back on September 26th against Tampa Bay. A 2-2 foul back.
But Tom, I like the fact, the point you made, the 4 left-handers. And you know what I like about it, though? They said, here's our boys, let's go get it done. And that's basically how they're playing this game.
Absolutely. The difference here with 2 strikes, David Price, as compared to 3-4 years ago, multiple weapons now to put hitters away.
Price missing low and away, full count.
So to my point with all the left-handers, okay, Chu, Fielder, Hamilton, Odor, they basically said these are the guys that got us here down the stretch. And I know Marlins sitting out because you got Napoli in the trade. He's playing first today. But we've watched already in the 2 wild card games, people flipping lineups and flipping a coin who's going to be able to play or not. These are your guys. Go get it done.
Payoff pitch, high and tight. Rangers have their first base runner. Six-man umpiring crew in the postseason. 44-year-old James Hoy is behind the plate. Rick Carapazza at first. Alfonso Marquez at second. Marvin Hudson over at third. The crew chief, Dale Scott, in left. And Dan Bellino in right. 1 out, 1 out. Here's Adrian Beltre. Like Chu had a tremendous month of September. He's got a franchise record, 38 runs batted in since September 1st.
You see him take his grip with that index finger on the left hand off the bat. A dislocated finger in tremendous pain. He actually plays better when he's hurt.
Beltre took Price deep in Price's last start against the Rangers back in late August. Lifetime against Price, 10 for 33, 2 home runs.
That was really Prince Fielder who said this guy is amazing the way he can turn his game up when he's compromised. Advantage through the manager called him the toughest minded player he's ever been around.
Chu's got a great lead. He can run bases. See that lead he's got right there? It's perfect for Astros.
Yeah, well, you can forget about stolen bases with David Price. 0 stolen bases allowed the entire season. The most innings in a season since 1968. Wow. Rangers telling me the only way you can run on Price if you guess, you go first move, if you kind of pick up his cadence and when he's going to the plate. Otherwise, if you read him too late, he's too quick.
Second consecutive walk issued by Price. He walks Beltre on 4 pitches.
You know, there's wild and there's guys just missing their spots. And David's around the plate so much, he's just missing. And so you don't really concern yourself as much. When you see a catcher set up and your pitcher's all over the place missing, that's when you get concerned. He just missed on a nibble on Chu on the 3-2 pitch right there around the box with Beltre. Not much of concern. I know it's not nerves, put it that way.
So 2 on, only 1 out. Our keys to the game sponsored by Ford.
Well, I came up with Harold. You haven't been here to Canada for a while. You were worried you didn't speak Canadian.
Yeah.
So I'll help you out here. T.O. Toronto, Ontario. So for Texas, throw outside. Keep the ball away from the power hitters on the right-hand side for Toronto. Thunderous offense. We know all about this team. Lives by the home run, especially at home.
There you go. T.O., I thought you meant timeout. Like right now, David Price needed a timeout. Maybe he got it together.
Strike 1 to Fielder. Prince Fielder 2 for 12 lifetime against David Price, who issued back-to-back walks to Chu and Beltre. The 0-1.
See how pretty Gomes got that ball out of the backhand. That set it up easy, and once you get it in Tulo's hands, you can forget about it.
Crowd on their feet here in Toronto. to make his 5th career postseason start, his first as a Ranger. He will face the top of the order here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Ben Revere will lead off. Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion, 1, 3, and 4 in the American League and runs batted in this season. Tulowitzki will bat 5th, then Smoke. Bottom of the order, Martin, Goins, and Pilar for manager John Gibbons. So Ben Revere leads off, acquired from the Phillies at the deadline in late July. Ended the regular season with an 8-game hit streak.
Great hand-eye coordination. He'll bunt on you at any time, any count. Puts the ball in play. One of the top putting the ball in play percentage guys in the league.
Center field to Shields. 1 out. Gallardo, 29-year-old right-hander, won 13 games this season. His career low earned run average in his first season as a member of the Rangers.
You know, Tom, his trade from Milwaukee was a little bit of a surprise. You know, I know they were trying to move money, but the landing spot being Texas, they've been able to pluck some guys out.
The word that comes to mind with Gallardo is stubborn. Throws the fewest strikes in baseball.
Facing one of the leading MVP candidates in the American League, Josh Donaldson.
So you say, why is that stubborn? What he throws are strike balls, which means they look like strikes coming in, end up as balls, especially down and away. That's where this game will be decided for Gallardo.
I was going to say, if there's any guy to be stubborn about, it's Josh Donaldson. You know, this is the MVP guy. But Tom, go ahead, take it away.
Well, this area right here, this is what Gallardo wants to control. The power hitters of the Blue Jays do not like the ball down there. They will wait for something in or over the plate. He will continue to pound there, especially if he gets that call. That's why he has not allowed a run to the Blue Jays this year.
13 2/3 innings in 2 starts against Toronto.
Josh Donaldson, though, this guy, talking about, is him or Mike Trout, MVP of the American League. He's had an incredible year. But I think the one thing he can do this year that he didn't have to worry about last year, he can shoot that ball to right field if he needs to. It's changed his whole game in this ballpark.
A 3-1. Fouled off to the right side.
Josh Donaldson's philosophy is that pitch down and away. Even if it's a strike, I will only swing at that if I have to. Well, now he's at a 2-strike count.
41 home runs, 123 runs batted in. His 4th consecutive trip to the postseason went the last 3 years with Oakland. How about this? 43 career at-bats in the postseason for Donaldson. Has not driven in a run.
Wow.
That's surprising because he can provide a run with himself with one swing.
Payoff pitch. The Shields started back, now coming in 2 away.
Boy, but Tom, you're right. That ball, the Orioles is living there.
He actually missed a spot a little bit. You know, they can't watch the target and watch the glove of Chirinos move up and into the zone.
Yep.
Got away with a mistake right there.
But he already had the hitter looking outside. If you look at Donaldson's motion, he's already started his swing to go to right field with that ball and came back. That's why he missed it.
So with 2 away, Jose Bautista making his postseason debut today after appearing in over 1,400 regular season games.
Tremendous. Jose's, the shocker to me is how many Twitter followers this guy has. He has a ton of folks following him. I was talking to him about it yesterday.
And he follows most of them back.
Yes. He's got a team he put together as well that handles a lot of his social media. Very popular player, obviously, in Canada. I asked him, you know, how many different countries are you in? He's in 5 different countries with his Twitter followers. Yeah. It's a big pitch. You go from possible 1-2 to 2-1. And now he can come back and sit on a pitch that he can get to. I'm wondering if he continues to live on the outside half, if these Toronto hitters start to get on top of the plate a little bit more and take that outside pitch away. I'll try to trick him. He's coming in.
Way inside, 3-1.
Got him dancing. So it's a lot like Donaldson. You start looking outside, you start to dive outside. And actually, if you go back and we get this from the other angle, it may not look like that ball's that much in, but Bautista's already diving.
He's just 1 for 12 lifetime against Gallardo. Pops it up to the right side. Gallardo retires the Blue Jays in order in the bottom of the first. Make a plan to make it home. By T-Mobile, switch to the data strong network. And by the Quesarito and Volcano Quesarito big boxes. Grab them at Taco Bell. Union Station in Toronto. As we welcome you back, Kenny Albert, Harold Reynolds, Tom Verducci, Ken Rosenthal. Game 1. Top of the second inning, Mike Napoli leads off against David Price, who threw 17 pitches in the first inning. Walked a couple, but then induced an inning-ending double play.
Well, you saw those numbers from Napoli since rejoining the Texas Rangers. We did a game in July in Boston, and they were working on changing his swing. Remember, he had that big hitch. They were trying to eliminate it. It takes some time to really try to retool your stroke. Probably my cue back. But he really tried to take that little hitch out. That was a natural thing that he does. What I mean by hitch, he starts his hands up high and then he drops them down about waist high and brings them back up to swing. And he got himself into a bad habit. When you're struggling, it's a habit. When you're hot, then it's a timing mechanism. You know, that's how people look at it. So he's made a little bit of an adjustment since getting back and working with Dave Magadan.
Napoli strikes out, 1 away.
Well, he just got a very tough hitter. Napoli's a guy who chokes up on the bat with 2 strikes and shortens up. See the changeup grip here from David Price. You know, again, that to me, it's the separator with David Price, the guy who came up, power pitcher, fastball slider. Around 2011 is when he went to that changeup, and it just keeps getting better and better.
With 1 away, here's Josh Hamilton. 0-1.
And the secret to any, he took a little off that curveball right there. The secret to any good changeup, it's arm speed, and it's the same look as a fastball. And that's why, as Tom is saying, he continues to get better and better. The more he works on it, the more difficulty hitters are going to have. He's just starting to really figure it all out.
Look at where the infielders are positioned for the Blue Jays. With Hamilton at the plate, he is 0 for his last 20 guys in the postseason. 0 for 13 last October with the Angels against Kansas City.
Well, he's the designated guy we're focusing on a lot. He struggled, no doubt about it.
The 1-2 call, strike 3. Second consecutive strikeout for Price.
Well, David Price getting on a roll right now. He's throwing everything. Remember that early conversation they had, the timeout. Now here's a good look at his curveball. He threw a get-me-over curveball the first pitch to Josh Hamilton. He swung and missed that. Then when he busts him 95 and you come back with this, he's got 3 pitches he can throw for strikes right now. That is a problem for any lineup, any hitter, when David Price is on this kind of a roll.
So with 2 away, here's the shortstop, Elvis Andrus. 10 for 25 lifetime against Price.
He's had great success. I'm just curious if he sees a different David Price now. That Tom, you talked about the evolution of that changeup for David Price. The challenge for Elvis is when he's ahead a lot of times.
Well, I mean, it's a pitch you can throw at any count. Look at the growth in the changeup usage over the years for David Price. I mean, that's remarkable. 2011, he doubled up on it, but each year becoming more and more of a weapon, and especially in 2-strike counts. As you said, H, he'll throw at any count, but that's become a power strikeout pitch for him. Going to it right here.
A 1-1.
Interesting call there, showing bunt. 2 outs, bases empty with a pitcher is impossible to run against.
Yeah, well, that's what most people would think. He's thinking he can still steal a bag.
Good luck.
A lot of times you get that guy moving out of his rhythm a little bit too.
2-2.
But my point earlier is he's seeing a different David Price. Elvis Andrus has good numbers, but for the most part, he's hit at the top of every order he's been on when he's faced him. Now he's down in the lineup, in the order a little bit, so he's going to pitch him a little different. Changeup, fastball. We saw the cutter. He's not just here's a fastball, hit it.
I shouldn't laugh because I'm sure he's in pain, but if I'm David Price, I'm going to go back in with the cutter.
Oh, absolutely. Pitchers are mean like that. Make him swing over it, maybe hits it back to his leg again. Cold, huh, Tom? Ken?
Well, he's taking his time. Now back in the box. Fans waving their white towels.
Great shot.
Two from Price. Fouled off to the right side.
I think he continues to throw the fastball. Elvis is going to hit it. Look, as a guy that's a small guy that plays the top of the roll at the bottom, you hit off the fastball. You're not sitting there looking for anything else. You'll adjust. If they throw you a fastball, they're doing you a favor.
Price strikes out the side in the second.
Got him with the changeup. Tom, I'll chalk that one up for you.
We'll see a lot more of those.
Memory bank. Blue Jays back-to-back World Series titles, 92, 93. Back in the postseason in 2015 as Edwin Encarnacion leads off here in the bottom of the second inning. 5 for 16 against Gallardo in his career, Tom, with 3 home runs.
Well, there's a reason for that. This is the most difficult matchup for Gallardo. We talked about Donaldson, Bautista, the ball down and away. Encarnacion is not bothered by that pitch. He takes the outside in. He likes to hook the ball. 2 of the home runs off Gallardo, sliders away.
And he sends this one to deep left center. Under it is DeShields. It stays in the ballpark, 1 away.
But that one thing, that ball away, you have to generate a lot of the power. That's why it looked like it was going out, but he's got to generate that.
So now Troy Tulowitzki steps in. What an addition. Acquired just prior to the deadline. And then on September 12th, in a collision with Kevin Pillar, cracked his shoulder blade, missed 3 weeks. Returned, played in a couple of games at the end of the regular season. The Blue Jays 31-9 with Tulowitzki in the lineup as we head down to Ken Rosenthal. Ken.
Well, John Gibbons telling us before the game that Tulo is still not 100%. That injury can bother him on certain swings when he gets full extension. But in that series against Tampa Bay, he went 3 for 8. His timing was better than the Blue Jays expected.
And in his first postseason at bat as a Blue Jay. He grounds out to the shortstop, Andrus, for out number 2.
Well, one of the ways they got him ready, you can play a simulated game, and he got about 10 at-bats in one day in Tampa. And they were down there playing a couple of games with their spring training complex there. You can bring guys over from the fall league to throw. And you can also, as you see the injury right here, David Price, remember he had that long stint where he wasn't throwing, came out and actually got a couple at-bats off him as well. Punched him out here, and they're still talking about, hey, I could have hit that ball if I wanted to.
Right.
But the key was it got him right. That same night he hit a double, hit a ball hard, hit 3 balls hard that night. That's why it got him ready for the postseason. Now we're ready for Mr. Smoke.
Justin Smoke, first-round draft pick of the Texas Rangers back in 2008. Traded to Seattle in the Cliff Lee deal. Played in 70 games with the Rangers back in 2010. Two outs, bottom of the second inning, scoreless in Toronto.
See how deep Rougned Odor is playing at second base. I was out there earlier today walking around, and I played a lot of games here, and we didn't play quite that deep. And all of a sudden I started realizing that's a further throw than the third baseman has. So now your second baseman has to have a middle infielder's arm. I mean, like a shortstop to throw a routine ground ball to first. It's a long throw. And on AstroTurf, it's deceiving because you think, oh, it's going to get to you early and you can play a little deeper.
Well, remember, too, this is not the pool table that you played on back in the day. True. This is a different turf this year. It's much slower. Josh Donaldson telling me a lot of visiting players can get fooled because the ball actually slows down on this turf as opposed to the old one.
2-2 to Smoke, up the middle. Jump throw by Andrus.
Perfect example of what you're talking about, Tom. That ball off the bat, slowed down. Elvis almost overran it. That's probably why he's laughing. Picked it, made the throw across the diamond.
So the Blue Jays retired in order for the second straight inning after Price struck out the side of the top half. bottom of the third inning. Rougned Odor leads off for the Rangers against David Price, who walked 2 in the first, struck out the side in the second.
You look at the 16 home runs. I saw him hit a ball today in batting practice over the Ring of Honor. Ouch. Little changeup got away right there, a breaking ball. But the Ring of Honor, where they got Roberto Alomar, Paul Beeston, Gillick, all the guys up there, for a little guy his size to be hitting the ball up there, I mean, he torched it too, and everybody, he was high-fiving everybody in the cage after he smoked it. That is a long ball over the Roberto Alomar sign up there.
It's amazing. They have a lot of big dudes on this team. When I asked Dave Magnan, the hitting coach, who has the best bat speed, little guy Odor.
And he loves playing here. 10 for 21 lifetime at Rogers Center. Wow. Hit by the pitch from Price. Leadoff man on. Strike 1 to Chirinos. Fastball, missing low, 1-1.
Very patient approach so far. Not swinging early in the count against the guy, David Price, one of the top 5 strike throwers in all of baseball.
Odor goes.
Yo, a little hit and run, that's what you got to do.
Donaldson with the throw across to retire Chirinos. We spoke between innings with Blue Jays skipper John Gibbons, managing in his first postseason game today. We asked him if it feels different than a regular season game.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, once you get a couple innings under your belt, you settle into a real baseball game. But there's definitely something different.
John, you've had a hard time this year cracking the code of Gallardo. What does your team need to do against him?
Well, dudes, he has had our number. I think we're going to eventually get to him. We got to make sure, we make him get a ball over the plate. And, I think there may be a couple mistakes he's made. We just didn't do anything with him, and that's the key. If he gives us something to hit, we got to take advantage.
John Davids looks like he's off to a good start. Got the changeup working. How effective is he looking in that dugout?
Well, I think that first inning he was maybe a little bit revved up, and he was missing off the, missing high a little bit, which you don't normally see. But he settled in, and this game's starting to shape up like those 2 wild card games, with pitch and dominating. So hopefully we score some runs here soon.
Thanks, John. Good luck.
Okay, guys.
Well, they're off to trying to get something happening. You get the hit and run on. You stay out of that double play they hit into with Prince, and just move that runner up. Tommy, you talked about you can't run on him. You're not going to steal base on David Price, so that's the other way to maybe get that offense jump started. You go back right here. Now here's a hit and run. He's looking in the whole way, and a hit and run, you're that batter. It used to be try to shoot that ball the other way. Just put the ball on the ground. That's what everybody started teaching years ago, and that's all he did. Put the ball down. It's better than a sacrifice, and you move the run.
Odor takes his lead off second. Shields flying to center his first time up.
You say flying to center. The Rangers don't want to see that out of this guy. All he needs to do is put the ball on the ground and put so much pressure on the infielders. If you want to delineate DELINO, here's all you need to know. He hits 079 when he hits the ball in the air, fly balls. It's 340 when the ball's on the ground.
Keep an eye on Odor, too. He's getting a nice little walking lead. Right through the hole, broke to hold the runner on that ball, and the ball ends up going through for a base hit. That's what happens with speed. We always think about you're going to steal the bag. Not necessarily. Odor, the pitch before, started walking off, forced Goins to come over a little bit. Then he started walking again, and I don't know if what he was doing, but watch him break to second to go cover the runner, and he hits it right where he was at. So he thought maybe David Price might pause another second, and here comes the run easy. Ball down.
Easy? Watch out for that turf.
Stand up. Stand up.
I'll tell you, this is thick turf here.
I mean, honestly, I've never been I don't like the surface, particularly because it's almost like grass underneath you. but it's thick. And you saw right there the effect of it.
So DeShields drives in the first run of the series. Chu walked his first time up.
But you heard John Gibbons saying this is shaping up like the 2 wild card teams. And what happened in those games, they didn't put any pressure on the pitchers. We got a hit and run, they got a runner to second. You got a guy thinking about stealing third, and second baseman breaks, you get a ground ball, scores a run. That's what you have to do against guys that are dominating you on the offensive side of the pitcher.
These teams finished first and third in the American League in runs scored. You knew it wouldn't take long.
True. Thought it would be the long ball, though.
Amazingly, we were scoreless over the first 2 innings.
That's true.
One and two on Chu with Beltre waiting on deck.
You know, Tom, it's interesting in these postseason games how you see how guys try to get hitters out. And even on 3-2, when since Chu walked, there was a ball inside. David Price thinks he's got a hole there. Obviously, he's continued to try to pound him in.
Runner goes 1-2 from Price. So the Rangers stay out of the double play.
You know, you watch Tulo right there. This is a veteran shortstop. He starts to break the cover, but he doesn't sprint and leave the hole vacated. Watch Tulowitzki. All right, he's going to break the cover. You see him shuffle, but he didn't take off and vacate the hole. That's from experience, and that's what you try to get when you talk the difference of a playoff guy, shortstop and a veteran player. That was a big league player, else we're looking at first and third again.
Instead, runner on second with 2 outs as Adrian Beltre steps in, walked back in the first inning. Strike one.
Ken, you were talking about the second half Beltre's had. You look at those numbers. It was with the runner at second. A lot of times with 2 outs, he was hot. Big numbers.
Base hit into center field. DeShields heading home. Throw to the plate is off the mark. Rangers lead 2-0.
Wow, what a job DeShields did cutting the bag at third base. Jeff Bannister thinks he has the best base running team in baseball. No team takes the extra base more than this team. That is a bullet hit to a Gold Glove caliber center fielder. Speed and the cutting of the bag by DeShields. Impressive.
Beautiful. That ball's hit so hard it gave Pilar an opportunity. Now on the swing there, I saw Beltre come out of the box. I don't know, it looks like he's got his hand on his back, but maybe stiffness from the AstroTurf. A lot of guys do this. Watch the swing and the finish. He's already hurting as he grimaces to go down the base. That is not a pretty sign right there. I know he's tough, but man, that doesn't look good.
So Beltre drives in the second Texas run. Remember, the inning started with a hit batsman. It has led to a pair of runs.
He's in some serious pain.
Well, remember earlier I talked about the dislocated finger for Beltre. That's how it started. You talked about the pain he's in. Look at him pregame warming up. He does this every game now. He does not catch the ball in his glove to save wear and tear on that finger. He catches it on the outside of his glove. And even when he took ground balls pregame, every one caught the same way.
I'm watching him move. I don't see how he finishes this game. It's just every time he took the shove step off, he was in pain. He didn't even run on that grounder. Let's keep you posted on Mr. Beltre.
2-0 Texas, mid-third. Alberto now at third for Texas.
Yeah, he's looking at his first postseason action right now. Played a lot of Round Rock this year. He's been the cheerleader. Every time I turn the Rangers game on, they come up with a big knock. He's that guy running up and down the dugout and carrying the water. Well, you can't be the water boy anymore. Now you got to go play.
Gallardo falls behind 3-0 to Martin. Goins on deck, then Pilar. 2-0 Rangers, bottom of the third inning. Fastball in for strike one, 3-1.
You can only imagine the pain that ADRIAN BELTRE is in, because he wanted to stay in the game, went to his position. It took Jeff Bannister and the trainers going out there to get him off the field.
And remember, these teams will play an early game tomorrow, 12:45 here in Toronto.
Test him early, right? This game's cruel, man. They'll find you. The ball's going to find you. But, Tom, here's what you're talking about. You go back and look at ADRIAN BELTRE, and, you know, it was clearly on this swing right here. He feels it right away. That looks like a muscle spasm, a cramp, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not the doctor here, but he's clearly in some serious pain. But then as he fights to stay in the game, all his teammates, they had to come over and say, hey, look, big fella, we're up 2-0. We're going to need you in this whole series. And he had tears coming out of his eyes fighting to stay in this game. But he had to go. You're absolutely right, Tom.
So Alberto in for Beltre. Strike one to Ryan Goins. 7 up, 7 down for the Blue Jays.
I'm Goins. I drop a bunt. I test him right now. Again.
ANDRUS, 2 out.
Now, earlier I talked about my conversation with Donaldson about this turf, and he said what you also have to do is learn how to play and recover on it in terms of your body. And the Rangers team has not played a game on turf since June the 23rd. Electronic, direct line between the turf and the swing by Beltre. But it is a wear and tear factor, and the visiting teams just are not used to this turf.
Yeah, I remember when I played Seattle, we did a lot of Pilates and a lot of plyometrics to build up those muscles, the core muscles, because you're going to be on turf. What happens on AstroTurf, it's mainly your hamstrings and quads, stuff like that, and your back, your lower back stiffens up, because it's almost like if you're at home playing on cement in the backyard.
You still doing Pilates, Harold?
Nah, not much anymore. Not much. How about you?
No.
I love the way you said cement, like you were from Texas or something. Where'd that come from?
Got a little accent every now and then.
Here's the 1-1 to Pilar. Number 9 hitter, end of the regular season on a 10-game hit streak.
Talking to Pilar yesterday, Mark Gubaza was his high school baseball coach.
Former Kansas City Royal. Colorado is with the Angels.
I think it's pretty cool when former players go back and are coaching and active in their communities.
Speaking of coaches or managers, both Gibbons and Bannister making their Major League postseason debuts as managers. Yep. They played a combined 19 regular season games in the major leagues. Gibbons 18, Bannister just 1.
Bannister appreciates that combined 19.
Exactly.
Well,
he has a career batting average of 1,000.
See, there you go.
A hit in his only career major league at bat. Off Dan Petrie.
Wow. Remember Dan Petrie?
That's back in 1991. Gallardo says, look what I found. He has retired the Blue Jays in order in each of the first 3 innings here in Toronto. At Rogers Center, Texas Rangers with a 2-0 lead in Game 1 of the American League Division Series. Mike Napoli leads off, fouls the first pitch back. Struck out his first time up. Price struck out the side in order back in the second inning. Napoli back in the postseason. 7th time, guys, in the last 9 years.
And he's had some big home runs in the postseason. Right there, he just missed one. He tried to ambush him, a little fastball first pitch. He jumped on it, fouled it back.
Now you'll see Napoli go to 2-strike mode and tone down that leg kick, shorten up on what's one of the bigger bats in baseball. 35 inches. Piece of lumber for Mike Napoli.
Won a World Series 2 years ago with the Red Sox. Napoli playing in his 48th postseason game. Most playoff experience on this Texas Rangers roster.
Yeah, I think people forget that. You know, you look at, he was in Boston, and you tend to forget he was in Texas and even in Anaheim when he played with the Angels way back.
1-2 from Price, missing high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I like what the Rangers did with David Price. They manufactured a run. You're not going to get many, and he's starting to get into a groove. That was a big half inning manufacturing what they did there.
Napoli strikes out for the second time. Well, the MLB postseason continues after our game right here on FS1. Game 1, Astros and Royals. Colin McHugh takes the mound against Giordano Ventura. Then tomorrow, a great day of action highlighted by Game 2 of Houston and Kansas City on FS1 with coverage beginning at 3 Eastern.
Thank you.
There's Josh Hamilton, who was caught looking his first time up. Pitching matchup in Game 1 of the other American League Division Series. 19-game winner McHugh, 13-game winner Ventura. Hamilton pops it up to the right side. 2 away. Adrian BELTRE left the game earlier for an update downstairs to Kent.
Kenny, the Rangers are saying this is lower back stiffness. He did it on the slide into second and will be further evaluated. But guys, I don't know if we can emphasize it enough. For Adrian BELTRE to come out of a game, he must have been in serious pain.
Certainly looked to be. Thanks, Ken. We also saw him on the replays in pain running down to first.
Well, you know, he's taking out on the double play. He's trying to take the guy out. So maybe it was an awkward slide there. Clearly, the swing finished him off for today anyway.
Andrews struck out back in the second inning. David Price has won his last 5 starts. Terrific as a J, 9-1 in 11 starts since the trade from Detroit. But as we mentioned earlier, 5 career postseason starts, and he lost all 5.
Well, here's the slide you're talking about. See him try to reach. Oh, yeah. Hit a little divot. And you can see he got caught in the dirt. Sometimes you know how it's dry and you hit something wet and you get stuck.
BELTRE replaced by Alberto. A 1-2 to Andrews. Gets the bat on it. Bautista in right. So Price retires the Rangers in order in the 4th. game at the MLB.com shop. Bottom of the fourth inning. Ben Revere takes a called strike from Gallardo, who has retired the Blue Jays in order in each of the first 3 innings.
Yeah, Tom, he's been money.
He is putting on a clinic of pitching to contact. No swings and misses. No hits so far for Toronto.
There's a base hit up the middle off the bat of Ben Revere. So the Blue Jays have their first base runner.
Well, you know Revere's going to put the ball in play. Took it right back up the middle. Tried to get the outside. He got his spot. He put the ball where he wanted it. Just a good piece of hitting. Now it gets interesting.
Well, you've got Gallardo out of the stretch for the first time. Speed at first base. Power at the plate. Crowd back into the game.
Chance of MVP from the crowd as Donaldson steps in. Fly to center his first time up.
With a guy that throws to a lot of contact, with this lineup, second time around, they're such great hitters. They're not guys that are just going to hit the ball in the ballpark and swing and miss 200 times a year. They'll strike out. No, not this group of guys. So they make great adjustments. And the averages are high, and they can drive the ball. It's a dangerous combo.
Revere back in. He stole 31 bases this season for the Phillies and the Blue Jays.
Well, this is a situation with Donaldson where he prefers to hit the ball to the right side. He does not want to roll over into double plays. Pitch him away, he will take it away.
Takes inside, ball 2.
Well, you would think with his stance, he's got a slight closed stance. It's almost like his front foot is pointing towards right field. He'd be a guy that would shoot balls to right. He still can turn on the ball, and it keeps him closed a long time. That's a little adjustment I've watched him make this year. See how the front foot, the back foot is hiding because he's closed himself off.
It's a pitcher who does not give in. Wow. Stubborn, stubborn, stubborn. That's Gallardo.
Strike 1.
It's a good take. Ball's down and away. 3-0, 3-1. He's got to be thinking tying the game. When you're 3-0, 3-1 situation, it's a good pitch by Gallardo. I'm surprised Gallardo didn't complain a little bit more on the pitch before. It's right around the corner.
There's ball 4. Donaldson heads to first. Blue Jays have 2 on. With nobody out, and Bautista stepping to the plate.
Well, that told you a lot about what they think of the stuff they're facing tonight, because they didn't send Ben Revere. 3-1 count. You got a guy that's got a high leg kick, but he wasn't running. If you think you're going to have to manufacture, you got a guy that's really going to dominate you, and you're going to have a tough time scoring. Maybe you run there.
No, this is a guy who does not have swing and miss stuff. Lowest strikeout rate of his career this year. His game plan is not to get you out with stuff. He wants you to get yourself out by chasing. And Donaldson did not oblige.
Yeah, and Toronto's on to that as you see the prime minister, who would like Mr. Bautista to be here, steps to the plate now.
Pop to second his first time up. 2 on, nobody out. Strike 1.
He's not going to change, is he? Same spot.
And Bautista knows how important this pitch is when you face Gallardo. He thinks it's a ball. Gallardo gets the call.
It's a double play ball Gallardo's looking for right there.
Leadoff single for Revere, and then a walk to Donaldson.
stubborn. But his game is being played for Gallardo in that airspace about 6 to 8 inches off the plate, maybe on the plate in a perfect world for him. Blue Jays doing a good job trying to get him into the zone.
That's 2-1.
He did.
Now 2-2.
Yeah, he's frustrating to face because as a hitter, you're still thinking, no way is he going to continue to do this over and over and over. And he's looking for a ground ball double play right now. That's all he's hoping for. Get a grounder, he's going to get a double play. That's what he's looking at. He'll continue to pound out there.
It took 47 pitches, but the previous pitch, he finally got his swing and miss.
I tell you something, you got two guys on the bases that can run. What do they think?
Payoff pitch to Bautista. On the ground to the third baseman, Alberto. So the Blue Jays able to stay out of the double play. And Donaldson is slow to get back up.
Tell you what.
Alberto with a little bit of a bobble right here. Not enough time to 2-2, especially with Donaldson coming in hard and gets a knee to the head.
Well, you got to. Odor knew. As a second baseman, you see his knee catch the base here. That's where Donaldson gets hurt. As a second baseman, with the runner on second, first and second situation, Donaldson's lead is already 2 feet on the carpet before the ball's hit. So you know he's going to get on you quick. That's why Odor, immediately after he got the bobble, you know you're going to get the throw, and it becomes a no-play, double play. You got to get up in the air like he did. He's fortunate not to get hit, but Donaldson's coming hard, and he's got a big lead to do it.
So runners on the corners, 1 out for Encarnacion. Fly to center back in the second inning. Donaldson laughing about it. With R.A. Dickey.
Looks like he got a little cut on his forehead.
Again, it's a battle of wills. I talked about this is a tough matchup for Gallardo. I think the toughest in the Toronto lineup. Gallardo's will is to stay away, away, away and get you to chase. It's the second pitch in the sequence. That's off the plate. He broke Encarnacion's will. Blue Jays need to will the ball back into the zone, not chase out there.
Tell you what, Gallardo got his double play ball. The little bobble by Alberto over there wasn't able to turn it. He had the double play. Looking for it again.
Chase the back in. Tulowitzki on deck. First and third, 1 out. Fouled off to the right side by Encarnacion, originally drafted by the Texas Rangers back in 2000. Spent a year and a half in the Rangers organization.
Look, there's always situations in every game where you have to come up with a run. I feel like this is one of those innings that the Jays have to walk out of here with something. I know it's 2-0, but it feels like it's bigger.
Well, the first 9 Jays will retire today, Harold. That happened to them only 6 times the entire regular season in 162 games. Wow. A slow roller, charging is Alberto. Can't make the play. Revere scores. Blue Jays cut the Rangers lead in half.
I don't think he had a play on that ball, but this game is cruel, man. It'll find you. And back to your point, Tom, he stayed away, and that's what happens. You're going to hook this ball. You talked about Encarnacion. It didn't matter to him.
Yeah, right before that, Chirinos gave extra emphasis on get it away. Again, the inability to get a swing and miss on these Toronto hitters gets Gallardo in trouble, and now a double play not turned, and a tough ball not turned into an out.
First hitter that came into the game hit him a ground ball. Then you got the double play, you bobble. I don't care how long you've been playing, you start getting a little nervous, and then you get that number right there picking on it.
So it's an infield single and a run batted in for Encarnacion. First and second, still only one out. Tulowitzki at the plate.
Shields was doing a little housekeeping out there in center field. It's like a placard was on the track.
Took care of it.
He almost flipped over. That's hot.
Pretty good vertical right there.
I always find it interesting when guys change leagues, and Tulo and Ben Revere both coming over from the National League, facing Gallardo all those years. The numbers may not be there, but the comfort is. And being able to have a comfortable at bat and understand situations.
Well, the numbers are there for Tulowitzki. Career .407 average against Gallardo. The Shields just in front of the warning track makes the play. In at third is Bautista.
Good swing, smoked that ball. Good base running by Bautista right there. He read the ball, see if he was going to catch it or not off the bat. He froze. He wasn't standing on top of the base. Went back, tagged up, went to third base. Halfway, sees it. It's not going to be a play. Now he goes back and knows I got a chance. He knows the thrower who's going to be throwing the ball. And the Shields doesn't have a great arm. Got time to get there. Every little base counts.
So with two away, runners on the corners for Justin Smoke. Rounded out to short his first time up. Gallardo only 36 pitches over the first 3 innings combined. This will be his 20th pitch here in the fourth.
You see that ball get away. And you saw Alberto so far off of third base that Bautista can be very aggressive on any ball in the dirt that gets away from Chirinos. Basically taking the lead at third base as far as the third baseman is away from the bat.
Fastball in for strike one.
Now here's the other thing too, with the Rangers battling all the way down to the last day to wrap it up, right? Alberto didn't get in games. You know, if they'd have wrapped it up, he's in. You're not taking Adrian Beltre out of the game, so he hasn't played in a while.
Played in only 41 games during the regular season, 1-2 on Smoke.
I don't know the numbers, but I watched him play a lot, but he hadn't appeared in the game in a long time. At least, you know, they're in it. Asking a lot of this young man.
Bautista coming down the line.
Alberto moved over even farther with a 2-strike count. You don't need to honor a bunt possibility from Smoke. So why not? Maybe cause a balk.
Now you sit there and let Smoke hit. As a left-handed hitter, you got a guy coming down the line like that, you can see that out of your peripheral vision. If it's no strikes, okay, you got 2 strikes. You're not going to steal home. If you do, you better make it. Because if he throws a strike, he's out, right? So sit down and let him hit. Let him pick up the pitch and let him hit.
Gallardo wins the battle. But the Blue Jays score a run. Cut the Rangers lead at half as the pressure ramps up in the postseason. Chevrolet, find new roads. By Bank of America, who invites you to keep sharing your favorite baseball memories all postseason. And by DirecTV, call 1-800-DirecTV. Out. Top of the 5th inning. And for the second time in today's game, Odor, leading off an inning for the Texas Rangers, is hit by a pitch.
Well, he's clearly trying to get in. He tried to get in with Shin-Soo Choo. Second time he tried to bust inside to Odor.
That's looked like a 2-seam fastball. He just lost early in the delivery.
That's the last thing he wants to do. That's for sure.
You saw Bannister last time with the same combination. Odor on first, Chirinos at the plate. Hit and run when he got to a favorable count.
Guess how many batters Price hit during the regular season in 32 starts? 3.
Wow.
Well, it's
a new season.
Yeah.
Robinson Chirinos grounded to third his first time up.
He had a little long layoff too, and I know you want to have that strength a lot, but pitchers lose a little bit of timing and a little precision when they have that little layoff. He's getting sharper. He's shown us moments of command, but he's been in and out.
Chirinos sends this one to deep left center. Back at the wall. It is gone. A 2-run home run off the bat of Robinson Chirinos. The Rangers extend their lead to 4-1.
That ball hung a long time.
I'm not sure if this fastball was up by design, but Chirinos liked the look of it.
Chirinos 10 home runs during the regular season. Hits one in his postseason debut. And now DeShields looking to bunt his way on. The toss by Price for out number 1.
Trying to push that to second. Here's a home run, Tom.
Again, looked like a 2-seamer. Barreled up by Chirinos.
Well, you know, last time they hit and ran, right? So if you're Texas, if you're Toronto, you may not be thinking, you might think again, they're going to try to manufacture. What are they going to do this time? And he jumped the first heater he saw. Got just enough of it. Rivera got some hops, man, getting up there.
Chu 0 for 1 with a walk. Rangers lead the Blue Jays 4-1.
Well, they felt confident coming in because they are a fastball hitting team, and David Price will challenge you with the fastball, but you can't miss it. They've missed some balls and fouled them off, but lately they're getting it rolling.
Price had allowed only 1 home run over his last 6 regular season starts, 17 on the season. Chirinos takes him deep after Price hit Odor with a pitch for the second time, and Odor has come around to score in both instances.
He misses with the fastball again. First inning, fastball command not there, probably because of adrenaline. Now, third time around, fastball command not there. Remember, 11 days of rest coming into this start, not including that sim game down in Florida.
If you're
and how unusual is that? I mean, last time a guy started a postseason series on 11 days of rest, 1939. Red Ruffing did that for the Yankees, game 1 of the World Series. Well, it turned out okay, though. 3-4 Hickory Creek game.
So we'll have to go back 76 years. Backhanded by Goins. Chu is retired.
Well, Tom, take it back in
way back machine to the black and white photos. How about the time of game? 1 hour and 33 minutes. We can only dream on that.
What the commissioner and Tony Petitti would do for that.
Well, these two pitchers both grind today. I mean, Price is the slowest pitcher in baseball between pitches, and Gallardo doesn't throw strikes. This is not Marichal Koufax. This is more like Fisher Spassky. How much time it takes to make a move.
Guys, we are at 1 hour and 20 so far.
Not bad. We're almost there.
In the 5th inning. Harold, you had Red Ruffing's poster on your wall as a youngster, right?
Yes, I did. Peter Gammons was covering him. He told me about him.
Here's Alberto batting for the first time. He had only 2 at-bats during the month of September. And he is thrown out by Donaldson. But Price allows the long ball after hitting a batter. Robinson Chirinos takes David Price deep. 4-1 Texas, mid-5th. Back in Toronto, Russell Martin leads off for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 5th inning. Texas Rangers out to a 4-1 lead in Game 1 of the American League Division Series. Martin grounded out to third his first time up. Russell Martin, guys, has set a new Major League record today. He's the first catcher in Major League history to start in the postseason behind the plate for 4 different teams.
Wow. Well, that's kind of the game that we play nowadays with free agency and everything else, because that would have been a guy you keep in your organization forever.
Yeah, he's done that just in the last 6 years.
And Martin has made it to the postseason in his first season with each of his 4 clubs. The Dodgers, the Yankees, the Pirates, and now the Blue Jays.
Well, that's not a coincidence. You know, John Gibbons admitted last year that was a fractured clubhouse here in Toronto. This year, he said it all changed when 2 guys showed up in spring training, Russell Martin and Josh Donaldson.
each of the last 2 seasons. The bench coach in Pittsburgh was the manager in the opposing dugout today, Jeff Bannister. And a big smile came across Bannister's face earlier today when we asked him about what Russell Martin brings to a ball club. Base hit right center. Martin on his way to second. And he is in with a leadoff double.
You know, we've been talking about the effect of the AstroTurf. Years ago, that ball's in the gap. He might be thinking 3. He's lucky to get 2. Nice adjustment. Takes the ball away the other way. But look at it dive. That allowed Chu to get over there and make a throw. Right here, Russell Martin decides he's going to go ahead and challenge him about here. You better make it when you're down 3 in this game.
We saw all those black rubber pellets fly up into the air. They're embedded between the blades of this phony grass here, and it does slow the baseball down, no question.
Leadoff man on for the Blue Jays for the 2nd straight inning. Bunted foul by
I love that play right there. I do. I know a lot of people are like, what are you talking about? They get him to 3rd, and they break this inning open. Goins is a guy that's not going to have big numbers for you offensively. He's got to play within his capabilities. I want him to either to move that runner to 3rd or get me a nice. He's not going to hit you a 2-run home run unless he absolutely runs into one. But right here, he's got to go ahead and give them a chance to extend this inning. You're in the 5th. It's a big run out there.
One ball, 1 strike. No outs. Bottom of the 5th inning. Rangers with a 4-1 lead. Martin with a leadoff double. Goins fouls it back. 1-2. Well, college football returns Saturday, starting on FS1 as the 3rd-ranked Baylor Bears and their high-octane offense square off against Kansas, plus a top 25 matchup on Big Ten Network. 13th-ranked Northwestern and 18th-ranked Michigan. Oregon State will battle Arizona on FS1, and it will be TCU and Kansas State this Saturday on Fox. A 1-2, ground ball to the right side. Odor makes the play, but Martin moves over to 3rd.
Great play by Odor. Again, this slow turf gave him a chance to get there, but even better at bat. I love the fact he moved the runner. That's a huge run for the Jays. Now what happens on the defensive side, they're going to play back. You can get a ground ball. You can get a lot of ways to bring that runner in. It's a nice play, though. Great athleticism. Seeing some athletes. You got to have athletes to play on turf.
So now Pilar will bounce back to Gallardo. Back in the 3rd inning.
Tom, you've been talking about take what he gives you, and you got to make that adjustment with Gallardo. You got to pick up a run here.
It sets up a huge at bat. Again, he does not have swing and miss stuff, and out scores a run.
First pitch off the bat of Pilar, a base hit into right center, scoring Martin. It's a 4-2 game. Pilar in at 2nd.
It changes what the hitter can do at the plate. When you know all I got to do is drive a ball the other way. He's just trying to stay up the middle. If he hits a ground ball, it's a run. He stays on one, it's a line drive, and you get a double. But that, to me, is created because you got a runner at 3rd base with 1 out.
Yeah, Gallardo made a mistake, and he knew it. Hung the breaking ball. It was away, but it stayed up. Pitcher knows almost as soon as the ball leaves the hand, that is not going to be a good result. The reaction evident as soon as that ball got into the outfield.
A visit from pitching coach Mike Maddox. Gallardo, born in Mexico. His family moved to Fort Worth, Texas. He attended Trimble Tech High School. He said not many people get an opportunity to start game 1 for a team they grew up watching.
see the reaction right there. Hoping maybe it was at somebody. Did not get away with a mistake.
He grew up a Ranger fan.
He did. Two doubles in the inning. One run in. Ben Revere at the plate.
This is why this offense is so potent. You know, you talk about the big three in the middle, but it's the little guys that can do so many things, and they steal bases, they put pressure on you. Very similar, in my mind, with both lineups.
DeLINO, guys, first time through the order, no base runners, retired the first 9. Second time through the order, 5 base runners for the Blue Jays.
And they've made adjustments. We've seen more balls hit to the right side. We've watched them square some balls up a little bit better. And that's the name of the game of baseball. It's a game of adjustments. And that's why it's hard for pitchers to go through the lineup 3 times.
Here takes strike 1.
You know, in this day and age, Tom, we talk about a number 1 or an ace. That's what happens. It's that 3rd and 4th time through a lineup that lets you know who's that game changer, that separator, that ace.
Right. He's made some mistakes. The Blue Jays did get him back into the zone, and they capitalized.
Now 2-1. You saw Leone Killa up for the Rangers pen. Gallardo has not reached 6 innings in any of his last 7 starts. On one hop, it's knocked out by Napoli. Gallardo covering for out number 2. Moving to 3rd is Pilar. With 2 away, remember Donaldson was kneed in the head earlier. Ezekiel Carrera has come out into the on-deck circle, so the Rangers lose Beltre, and now the Blue Jays lose Donaldson.
There it is. He gets a knee right in the head. You know, I was watching him out there defensively, and he just didn't quite look the same kind of energy. Chris Colabello had been in the on-deck circle for this at bat. Now John Gibbons going with Carrera.
Well, and you're talking about the force that he was going at too. He runs well, Donaldson, that is, as it is, and he had a big lead, and he's clearly going to take out the double play, which, you know, take out second baseman, which he should. That's a tough break. Both all-star third basemen down and out
over the course of the first 5 innings of this series. Gallardo to Carrera. Ball 1.
That changes the whole face of this game real quick. But Tom, I know you've been a big proponent of the concussion syndrome and making sure you're watching guys. And you were immediately saying, I'm a little worried about Donaldson right now.
Well, you mentioned it, H. I mean, that was a solid, hard hit to the head. Again, you're talking about not just all-star third baseman, but 2 of the toughest hombres on either one of these teams, in Beltre and Donaldson.
So I'm sure they're giving him all the concussion tests that you go through now, and hopefully he comes through it. You never want to see, when you get to this point, you want to see the best players playing, particularly, you know, the 2 MVP players on each club. You want to see them in participating. I hope they both get healthy.
Beltre left the game earlier due to lower back stiffness. 2-1 to Carrera. Jump to the right side. Odor charging. And gets the out at first.
Wow. We watched him go to the left to make the play earlier in the inning. And this is a tough ball in between hop. He gets the big out.
Donaldson as we move to the 6th. Cliff Pennington now in at third base for Toronto. Blue Jays trail the Rangers 4-2. Prince Fielder leading off for Texas. 0 for 2, grounded into a double play back in the first inning. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. 0-1.
Kenny, my man, that's 206 RBIs between the two third basemen.
There's a lot of heart and soul there, too, what they mean to their respective clubs.
And as we mentioned, these teams come right back at it early tomorrow. 12:45 start here in Toronto.
Yeah, that doesn't leave you much recovery time. Let's see.
And then an off day, travel day Saturday. Game 3 Sunday night in Arlington. One from Price. Fielder lifts it into shallow center. And making the play is the shortstop Tulowitzki.
That's right where they got hurt before in New York.
Right.
You see that look?
And the collision with Pilar back on September 12th. We're able to laugh about it today as we head downstairs to Ken Rosenthal. Ken.
Well, as you guys mentioned, we saw both third basemen leave the game. First, ADRIAN BELTRE. He suffered lower back stiffness after this slide. Landed funny. Then gets the RBI single, but you can see there could barely even run to first base. Then Donaldson. Need in the head later in the game. On play also at second base. He was removed for precautionary reasons, currently being evaluated.
The good thing with Donaldson right there, you saw that. If you want to say anything good out of that, he had his helmet still on.
Right.
So he had a little bit of protective gear.
Need in the head by Odor.
Hit him right on the helmet and actually knocked it off as it was starting to come. So that gave him a little bit of protection on that hit.
Mike Napoli has struck out twice.
Tom, I remember you playing the bingo game with radar guns.
Bingo,
right?
yeah. All the different miles per hour.
And you can see that with David Price today. You can probably fill out your bingo card from 95 to 86, 84.
Center field, Pilar. 2 away. Our game summary is sponsored by Budweiser, with Texas leading 4-2. BELTRE and Donaldson, of course, both left the game. Robinson Chirinos, 2-run homer off Price in the 5th inning. And then Pilar doubled in a run in the bottom of the 5th. So that is where we stand with 2 outs, top of the 6th. Josh Hamilton 0 for 2. And Hamilton now 0 for his last 22 in the postseason.
He started off, I remember when the Rangers got to the postseason, he was killing the ball, right? That's how it started. Then he's in a bit of a tailspin now.
Hamilton strikes out on 3 pitches. A 1-2-3-6 for David Price. But his Blue Jays trailed game 1. Here in Toronto, 4-2. Old City Hall in Toronto. Gallardo and Price, the game one starters. A look at their numbers to this point. Gallardo's day is done. Replaced by the 22-year-old right-hander, Keone Kela. He will face the heart of the Blue Jays order here in the bottom of the 6th.
A great move by Jeff Bannister, if you ask me. They started making the adjustments on Gallardo. You got what you wanted to get out of him. Now you get to that bullpen that's been so great. You look at the numbers right there. But I thought he managed the game well to this point.
He starts him with 2 of those big breaking balls. This is a kid with an upper 90s fastball. And I believe this is the best fastball hitting team in all of baseball. By far. No one's close.
Bautista thought that ball was up.
The 0-2 in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that's why I think Gallardo matches up well against this Toronto team. And even looking down the road here, Cole Hamels with the killer changeup. Martin Perez, killer changeup. You cannot throw the ball too hard to this Toronto team. But if you throw it soft, especially down and away, you can neutralize them. Gallardo proved that through 5.
Mark Maddox, Rangers pitching coach. Bautista draws this one. Deep left center. No doubt about it.
What'd you say, Tom? Don't throw him a what?
Oh, my goodness.
He smoked that fastball.
His first career postseason home run.
What's so unique about Bautista, a lot of power hitters, they're still sitting on a breaking ball. He came up, remember, as a guy that would punch and judy, shoot the ball the other way, and he grew into his body and his swing.
And now Encarnacion into the left field corner, just foul.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Fastballs. That's what these guys eat all day, all night. They've been looking at Gallardo flipping it up there 89, 90 all day. Gila comes in throwing 97, and it's thank you very much.
Blue Jays, of course, led all of Major League Baseball during the regular season. 232 home runs. 3 players with at least 39. Including Encarnacion. A 1-1 from Kela. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And now he's back in that fastball count again. You can see Encarnacion's feet dancing. He's looking for that heater. Take you back to you Blue Jay fans of George Bell days when he used to be dancing in the box.
Hard grounder, fielded by Alberto. 1 away.
Well, you want to take a look at the home run swing? Here it is. I got that.
And you saw the target from Chirinos. He wanted the fastball up. Doesn't matter.
Well, the point I was trying to make about Bautista is that he's a guy who hits off the fastball and adjusts clearly because he wasn't sitting a 1-2 count. You would think guy would come back with a breaking ball. He didn't. He'd miss it.
Bautista, 286 career home runs in the regular season, making his postseason debut today.
First game. He's got to be excited. First postseason game. How many games he played? 1,600?
Just over 1,400 in the regular season. Wow, 1403.
Take him off one of those long lists you don't want to be on.
Bautista, Encarnacion, most home runs among active players without a postseason appearance. They're also 2-3 in games played. Coming into today, Alex Rios of the Royals, just under 1,700 career regular season games, finally in the postseason.
Well, I'll tell you what, the new wild card and the two wild cards, I guess, and the way we play now, I love it. I think it's changed the game, gives guys opportunities like this, but it allows good teams to get into the playoffs. We don't have that game last night in Pittsburgh. Those guys are done. Remember when the Giants won 100 games and it was like, nice summer, see you later.
See Keeler overthrow that fastball. What Bautista has done is turn Keeler more into a breaking ball pitcher, going to the curveball, even flipped in a changeup. And right there, he tried to make his best fastball even better. He missed by a lot.
And he's young too. He's got to calm his nerves a little bit.
Just 22 years of age. Tulowitzki, right center. And the catch is made on the warning track by DeShields for out number 2. Well, Howard, you've been talking about last night's wild card game. Cubs and Pirates. What a performance by Jake Arrieta. Our Maytag trivia question. Arrieta's last loss came back on July 25th. Who was the winning pitcher in that game?
Red Ruffing? It's been a long time.
Since July 30th, including the wild card game last night. How about those numbers?
Amazing. He has truly found it. He's in such a great groove. It's great to see a guy like that, too, who struggled early in his career, figured it out. I'm happy for him. I love the way that he worked to get to that point. You ready for the answer?
Yeah, you're killing me, Kenny. You got the answer?
I thought it was Red Ruffing.
No. Hey. We're going to leave it hanging at least half inning.
Be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient,
I know
guys.
the answer, Tom. It's easy.
You do?
Yeah. It's easy.
Did you cheat?
No.
We'll give you a hint, Tom. He's in the building.
Really? Wow. Think about that. I may need the time between the innings to come up with
Tom playing with everybody. Don't give it up to the rest of the world.
Tom probably wrote the trivia question.
Nice pitch right there, down and out. Just got to trust his stuff. That's what's got him here to the big leagues and been so successful. You've watched him, like you said, Tom, overthrow, overpower, but this is the best pitch he's made all inning right there.
Now the 1-2, and Smoke strikes out for the second time. But thanks to Jose Bautista, the Blue Jays pull to within a run. His first career postseason home run. Game 1 in Toronto. We move to the 7th with the Texas Rangers leading by a run. Elvis Andrus fouls off the first pitch from David Price. Andrus 0 for 2 today. Bottom of the Rangers order has scored 3 of the 4 Texas runs. It's the left fielder Revere who makes the play for out number 1. And now we take you back to our trivia question sponsored by Maytag. Jake Arrieta's last loss, July 25th. Cole Hamels on the mound for the Phillies. Struck out 13 Cubs. Did not allow a hit. 129 pitches. A no-hitter for Cole Hamels.
That seems like forever ago, doesn't it? That's how good Arrieta has been. How great he has been.
I remembered that because I was that was Hall of Fame week in Cooperstown.
And now Odor with a drive. And it's gone.
Don't blink.
Over the fence in the right field corner. So Rougned Odor, who was hit by 2 pitches earlier, came around to score both times with a solo shot, and the Rangers now lead 5-3.
Tell you what, we talk about all the talent, the young talent in baseball. This young man, 21 years old. You see the thunder right there. I was talking last time about him hitting the ball with that Roberto Alomar sign. He turns on this, and this ball is out in a blink.
It looked like a front door runner right into the barrel of Odor. This is a guy who was sent down to the minor leagues in May, really struggling. No idea of the strike zone. But to his credit, he went down to the minor leagues, and the next day he was the first one out on the field for early work. And he has been a different player since he came back.
Well, I talked to Jeff Bannister about that, and I had my suspicions watching Rougned that somebody had to jump his butt, so to speak. And Jeff Bannister basically said, you're not the player. You're not playing with that grit I'd heard about. And they sent him out. And to his credit, he went down, like you said, Tom. He showed up and worked, but he changed his attitude.
Now Torinos pops it up, shallow center field. And calling for it, making the play is the second baseman Goins for out number 2. How about this, guys? Odor has only seen 4 pitches today. And he scored 3 runs. He was hit twice. And now takes Price deep.
Well, look at 2. He gets hit twice. So where does he think David Price is going to throw him? Inside. So he's eliminated the outside half. He's sitting there looking inside. He gets a ball in and see you later, adios. Missile.
Now DeShields with a drive to left. And it gets past Revere.
Might be 3.
DeShields is in standing at third.
He lost that in the lights. You know, I remember playing in here. The lighting sits so low just above the press box. It is constantly in your eyes. You see him jump a little early, and once he got up there, he was trying to figure out how to gauge it. It's not those highlights right there, but it's the lower section that sits right in your eyes. You see him go up right here, and he's trying to stay with it, but he loses it. And that's what happens when you lose a ball in the lights. Doesn't have to hit you, but it's just enough to get past you.
It's a double and an error. So DeShields at third. Chu at the plate with 2 away.
Again, into a lefty.
That ball by DeShields was absolutely scorched. So it didn't even have time, no arc on it, to get above the lights.
Well, it's the lower lights that sit down here in the press box area. It's hard to understand, but when you're down there and that thing happens like that, it's easy to lose it.
Guys, DeShields trying to do something today that his father never did. Win a postseason game. Wow. His dad played in 2 series with the Dodgers back in the mid-90s. They were swept in both.
Dad played Montreal, played Baltimore, with the Dodgers.
Now managing in the red system. Left field. Another opportunity for Revere, and he makes the play on the warning track. But the Rangers extend their lead. Second home run allowed by Price. What a game one for Rougned Odor. 5-3 Texas. With a solo home run. But the Blue Jays trail the Rangers 5-3 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Game 1 of the American League Division Series in Toronto.
So, Tom, is this a taste of what we're going to see this series?
Well, it's not what we saw out of those wild card games for sure. Runs a little more plentiful in this series.
You see the new center fielder Drew Stubbs replacing DELINO DESHIELDS and the 28-year-old left-hander Jake Diekman. Third pitcher of the game for the Rangers came over along with Cole Hamels in the deal from Philadelphia. Hamels will start game 2 tomorrow for the Rangers against Marcus Stroman.
You know, Diekman was the guy, the afterthought. Oh, you can have Diekman too. No, they didn't say it exactly like that, but he was not the headliner. Clearly Cole Hamels was, but he has been some kind of weapon for them. So it helps solidify this bullpen. And I don't think the Rangers are here if he's not in this pen.
Absolutely. Dyson and Diekman have really changed the look of this bullpen, especially the results. But Diekman, you saw that first pitch running up there at 99. Great example of what the late Roberts said about pitching. If you're going to hurry, hurry late. The arm is quick, delivery slow.
Martin down on strikes. Robin Roberts, who pitched for Diekman's former club, of course, the Phillies. And you've been talking about this Texas Rangers bullpen. Check out the numbers since September 1st. Different story for the Blue Jays pen.
doubt. And in this game that we play today, you better have your bullpen together. So that's what it's coming down to. Every game's coming down to that pen. Guy on the right over there, he's not going to be in.
Backhanded by Andrews. And Collins is retired. What a play.
Wow. Again, this turf slowed the ball down. That's normally a hit, you would think. But Elvis is great range. He's got such great first step. We hear a lot of that with outfielders. Well, he's got a great first step. And then to get rid of this ball and have something on it. Watch how quick he gets out. 1, 2, boom. It's off and flying and putting something on it. It's a beautiful play.
That was so impressive. The arm strength, feet off the ground to zip the ball over there. Tulo-esque.
So with 2 away, here's Pilar. And he takes a called strike. Blue Jays trail 5-3. They won 53 games here at home during the regular season. Tied for the American League lead with the Astros. Won 93 games overall.
Doesn't see it.
Stubbs able to make the play.
He dinked us.
7 innings in the books here in Toronto. Sponsor of Major League Baseball by AT&T. DirecTV and AT&T are now one, bringing television and wireless together. And by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Rogers Center in Toronto. Kenny Albert, Harold Reynolds, Tom Verducci, and Ken Rosenthal. 5-3 lead for the Rangers. Top of the 8th inning. 29-year-old left-hander Brett Cecil on in relief of Blue Jays starter David Price. Alberto batting for the second time. Replaced BELTRE in the 3rd inning after Adrian left the game with back stiffness. Game 2 of this series tomorrow, beginning at 12:30 Eastern on MLB Network. 0-2 from Cecil. On the ground to the second baseman Goins. Alberto is retired.
Smooth tones of Bob Costas and Jim Cott tomorrow on MLB Network. And that guy right there will be having the ball for the Rangers.
Rangers get their chance to send their hired gun back to the mound, Cole Hamels. For Toronto, so he gets Marcus Stroman, got one of the best two-seam fastballs in all of baseball, hitting the ball for the Jays. But the hired gun for the Jays, David Price, postseason woes continuing. He had been the only pitcher to lose his first 5 postseason starts. He leaves the 6th on the losing side. A lot of stuff was good, H, but Rougned Odor was a stone in his shoe. He hit him twice leading off innings and paid for each of those, and the mistake on the home run.
Yeah, the stuff was good, but the location hurt him, and that's, I think, from the 11-day layoff. You know, he just was not locating, and if you're going to go inside on guys, you got to be precise, and it just wasn't there for him. And once you start missing, you try to go in with Chu, you try to go in with Odor. That's a weapon that David Price has, and now you have to move it off your location a little bit. You're not feeling as confident about yourself. They hit it.
1-1 to Prince Fielder. Now 1-2.
So yeah, the velocity, the changeup you talked about, you know, even showed a little bit of a curveball and a cutter. All the repertoire was there. He just wasn't sharp with it. And I think it'd be better if they get back to him again in the series. Statcast. Tom, you ready? I'll do Odor, and you got the shields. You talk about some balls that were hit sharp. This is a ball that's a missile. You wonder how fast it'll get out? Look at that travel time. 3.4 seconds. The hang time is 3.2. Go ahead, Tom.
There's another clothesline right there. Fastball up. Travel time. Don't blink. 3.6 seconds. 2 balls absolutely squared up.
Statcast powered by Amazon Web Services. Ball 1 to Mike Napoli, who is 0 for 3 today. We talk about Odor. He has scored 3 of the 5 Texas runs. He's the number 8 hitter, and then the number 9 hitter, Chirinos, homer to the 5th. So the bottom 2 of the Rangers' order have scored 4 of the 5 Texas runs.
Well, and you know what started it was a hit and run, right? And then speed at second base, holding the runner. Goins broke to hold him, and it hit a ground ball through the hole. So at the end of the day, we'll sit back and we'll go, oh, we saw Bautista hit a home run, Odor hit a home run. This game was broke open because they put a little pressure on the pitcher with some speed.
And it really started with Odor getting hit by a pitch twice.
Yeah.
Leading off the 3rd, leading off the 5th, as Napoli heads down to first. Harold, in case you were wondering, and I know you have been.
I am.
No player in Major League history has ever been hit in a postseason game 3 times with a pitch.
Well, we need to see that happen, then. He's right there. He's looking it up right now, too. No, he's going that. Kenny, I don't know. Is that right?
Never happened.
No, I know you're right. I was talking about the guy in the out there with his.
He's fact checking you.
Yeah, he knows.
He was checking you.
He knows all. You know, sometimes players, but there you go.
Look at it.
Is he right?
No. Tom Verducci.
Game face on.
I read an article he wrote.
What he does know is that a player has been hit twice in a game 18 times.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes the players are scuffling against the breaking ball to put the pitching machine on curveball. Cecil right now is a pitching machine throwing curveballs. Normally, that's his go-to pitch anyway, but especially against Josh Hamilton, that will be all he throws.
goes. Hamilton gets the bat on it. Rangers are retired in the 8th. Game 1 in Toronto. 2-run lead for Texas. Should be part of the biggest 7th inning stretch. Post your photos and videos with hashtag #TheBig7th. Well, we move to the bottom of the 8th in Toronto. It's Game 1. American League Division Series. Mitch Moreland replaces Mike Napoli at first base for the Rangers.
Well, they keep throwing their defense out there. Last inning you saw Drew Stubbs. This inning you see Moreland.
Second inning out of the bullpen for Jake Diekman facing Ben Revere, who takes strike 1. Revere is 1 for 3, scored a run back in the 4th.
And Diekman is not a left-handed specialist. 5 times he went 2 innings this year. And he holds right-handed hitters to an .098 batting average. It's a great luxury for a manager. A platoon neutral relief pitcher can give you multiple innings.
I doubt many left-handers want to face this guy. Boy, he steps right at a left-handed hitter. And if you're throwing 98 and then you drop that nasty breaking ball on you, you are in trouble. Wow. Look at that. See where he comes from? That ball looks like it's going to hit you. I mean, he's stepping right at the hitter. You always wonder how left-handers hang in there against a lefty. This is a stride. Look where he's stepping. That's stepping towards the left-hander, and then he brings it back across his body. It's a tough at-bat right there. Man, good luck.
The 1-2 on the ground to the third baseman, Alberto, and Revere is retired.
Alberto holding his own defensively. He had a little bit of struggle early getting into the game. But, Tom, I guess I got to pose this to you since this is Donaldson's spot in the order. Which team loses more, BELTRE or Donaldson?
Well, hopefully they don't lose either one. As you said earlier, you want these games decided the best players available.
Both teams lost their star third baseman earlier. In case you joined us late, Cliff Pennington batting for the first time. Early in the game, Adrian Beltre on this slide initially suffered the back stiffness and had trouble making his way down to first base following his run scoring single in the third inning. And the Blue Jays lost Josh Donaldson, who slid into second and took a knee from Rougned Odor. One to Pennington, lifted in the air, right center. Chu makes the play for out number 2.
As we look at Donaldson's injury here, trying to break up the double play, I'll answer my own question. Now, the good thing here, you see the helmet is still on his head when the knee hits him. That's still a knee to the head, but the helmet, I think, gives him a little bit more cushion than first thought. But to answer my own question, Tom, I think it's imperative that Beltre plays. Toronto's got so many more weapons than necessarily any other lineup in the American League.
Bautista takes a call strike. He homered back in the 6th.
That's the great thing about the postseason, though, isn't it? We come to this game talking about the Thunder in the middle of the order, and it's the 8 and 9 hitters in Texas lineup doing the damage. Right.
Popped up to the right side in foul territory. It is Moreland. We head to the 9th. Game 1, ALDS, 5-3 Rangers. The #1 app for live baseball. Stay connected with highlights, replay reviews, scores, pitch tracking, live radio broadcasts, and more. Download the At-Bat app. Well, you see Dalton Pompey heading out to right field prior to the top of the 9th inning. He will replace Jose Bautista.
This was really interesting. Bautista started to walk out to his position in right field, immediately stopped, and then walked back to the dugout. He said, I can't go on. Perhaps a cramp by the way he was trying to stretch out right there. #2 hitter out. Now the #3 hitter out.
That's troubling moving forward, I tell you what. Dalton Pompey, local kid from Mississauga, about 30 minutes away. Get a chance to play in a postseason game.
He was the starting center fielder for the Blue Jays on opening day. His 6th year in the organization, or organization as they say north of the border.
Yes. Right.
Well, the bottom of the order for the Rangers has done most of the damage. Andrus, Odor, Chirinos here in the 9th against Aaron Sanchez, the 23-year-old right-hander who started the year in the Blue Jays rotation. He made 11 starts, went on the disabled list in mid-June, and upon his return was moved to the bullpen.
Nice and easy. Nice, and that's what's called nice and easy gas. It's just a simple rotate delivery, and then this ball just explodes. I think this is a valuable appearance for Sanchez. You look at Cola got an appearance. Diekman we talked about. Cecil. Because this could turn out to be a long series. They're pretty evenly matched.
That's how John Gibbons referred to the series when we spoke with him prior to the game. He said it's an identical matchup. Both teams hot over the last 2 months. Called out on strikes, 1 away.
That's that easy delivery, and then boom, that ball is on top of you. The movement. That ball started out as a ball. This is what they call a two-seamer. See how that ball's spinning? When you hear everybody talking about a two-seam or a four-seam, see the seams rotate. That'll tell you. And that movement right there will let you know how the pitcher gripped that ball.
So with 1 away, here is Rougned Odor, who has scored 3 runs, tying a Rangers postseason record. Adrian Beltre scored 3 runs in a game back in 2011.
I'm telling you, Tom, I'm blown away by the velocity. Saw it last half inning. This guy here.
Odor flies out to Revere in left, so he has been retired for the first time today. As we welcome you into the broadcast booth, the big story today, injuries.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you start thinking about Donaldson, Bautista, and Beltre. I mean, you're talking about 3 premier all-star players in our game today.
Yeah, especially on the Toronto side, because you're talking about now in a deficit situation, having the injury on top of a possible Game 1 loss and having to face Cole Hamels in a Game 2.
I know Donaldson's being evaluated and precautionary measures. They said they took him out. Bautista, at least he got to third base. It looked like he had somewhat of a cramp, and I'm sure knowing the situation, he's not hitting again in this game. So we're probably better off taking me out and not running around out there. Hopefully I'm right, and we'll see him back here tomorrow afternoon. I think tomorrow afternoon looms large because that game comes back so fast, Tom.
Well, you think about now the medical staffs of both clubs trying to get these guys back on the field tomorrow with a short turnover.
The 0-2 Chirinos. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sanchez. Now we take you back to Bautista's at bat in the bottom of the 8th.
Takes the breaking ball right there. You see him right there kind of stretch himself out. Something a little tight. Now the next one on the swing. Definitely a little compromise there, no question.
The Rangers lose BELTRE early in the 3rd inning. Donaldson leaves the game in the 5th. Bautista in the 9th. Another foul. Chirinos 2-run homer back in the 5th inning, which gave the Rangers a 4-1 lead.
Well, this is a big inning right here. If the Rangers can hold on, and you have Cole Hamels going tomorrow, you talk about changing the series.
Wow. Got a look at Sam Dyson in the Rangers pen.
No Tolleson, huh?
35 saves for Tolleson during the regular season.
Losing an awful lot down the stretch trying to win to get in here. And I know the last couple games he was not available, so maybe that's why we see Dyson.
A lot of confidence too in Dyson's ridiculous sinker at 96-97.
Full count.
Yeah, but to change now when Tolleson's kind of been that guy, that kind of tells me that he may not be all the way back healthy or rested in their minds.
Playoff pitch from Sanchez. This is Pennington. We get to the bottom of the 9th. 2 up for the Jays. Encarnacion, Tulowitzki, and Smoke. First time since 1993. Blue Jays were the only team in all of baseball who had never played in a division series. They trail 5-3, bottom of the 9th. Will Venable replaces Josh Hamilton in left field for the Rangers, and the 27-year-old right-hander who broke in with the Blue Jays back in 2012, Sam Dyson. Dyson will try and close things out.
Well, you see that strikeouts to walks. The guy's going to be around the plate that tells you he's got electric stuff.
Bowling ball sinker, tough to elevate. How tough? 31 games with the Rangers, 1 home run allowed.
The last 9 Blue Jays have been retired. The first 9 Blue Jays in today's game were retired. Encarnacion, 1 for 3. Drove a run back in the 4th.
And we've watched Venable in left field now, defensive replacement. Stubbs came in earlier, and also Marlins. So they moved their defense about 7th inning on.
A 1-0 from Dyson. 1-1.
There's that bowling ball, Tom. The ball gets about thigh high and then whoop, sinks on.
There's a movement on this pitch. Watch it continue to run in on Encarnacion,
who doubled in his only career at bat against Sam Dyson. Fouled off to the right side. 1-2. Downstairs to Kent.
Kenny, Josh Donaldson did indeed go through the concussion protocols. He passed. Now, the Blue Jays will monitor him tonight, and they'll reevaluate him tomorrow, but they expect him to be fine. Jose Bautista, right hamstring tightness, but it was mild. Removed for precautionary reasons. Expected to play as well tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Ken.
That's great news. I don't care which team you're a fan of, but I'm a fan of baseball, and I want to see the best players playing at the best time of year. So that's a good sign. That's great news. And anytime you see Tom, you see somebody get hit in the head, you hope the best, like in Donaldson's case.
Absolutely. That sounded like the best case scenario, that report Kenny gave us.
Two and 2 on Encarnacion. Dyson delivers. Up the middle, base hit to lead off the inning.
That's a big hit. 2-2. Not trying to do too much. Great approach, and I've been saying the whole game, their power hitters are not just sluggers that swing and miss and hit home runs. They're hitters.
Saw the target from Chirinos below the strike zone. That one above the knees.
Troy Tulowitzki, 0 for 3.
Tulo's swung about good today. Hit a couple balls nice. Last at bat deep to right center. Hit another ball hard that way.
You know, because of the injuries, John Gibbons does not have his preferred pinch runner, Dalton Pompey. He's already in the game. Gibbons saying that Encarnacion is someone he would run for late in the game. No choice right here. Has to stay in.
Great point, Tom. That's one of their weapons. Keeps you out of that double play, too.
1-1. Tulowitzki now 1-2.
Because you got a guy like Dyson who loves to have the high leg kick, take his time to deliver. Pompey steals a bag here. It keeps you out of that double play and allows your inning to continue. With Dyson, a sinker baller, it's almost playing into his strategy now. He's looking to get a ground ball.
Right, we're told Tollefson is fine, and that Dyson is in for just that reason, to reduce ground balls. 2-run lead for the Rangers, bottom of the 9th. A 1-2, and Tulowitzki is down on strikes. One away.
Well, let's take a look at how it happened here. 4 pitches. Ball runs in on him. Paints on the outside half. That's a ball looking for a double play. That one runs back in. Look at that hard sink. You're not catching that.
You just can't elevate it. That's what I talked about at the top. When you play Toronto, you defend the home run. Tollefson has allowed 9 home runs this year. Good luck trying to elevate that sinker from Dyson.
Justin Smoke 0 for 3. Struck out his last 2 times up. Encarnacion with a leadoff single. Tulowitzki struck out. 1 away. Bottom of the 9th inning. 2-run lead for Texas.
To look at the defense and how they're aligned right now. They're playing for outs, one at a time. You see the third baseman's all the way over. Where Elvis Andrus, the shortstop, is placed, that's not a double play situation where he's going to be able to go back to the other side if it's hit to a door and turn it. So they're playing 1 out at a time right now.
Two off from Dyson. Broken back, ground ball. Throw to second. So the Rangers get the lead runner for out number 2.
It's a great read by Odor right here. He thought about going to tag the guy, but again, how you align before the ball's hit tells you what to do when the ball is hit. They're playing for 1 out. Get the jam shot, broken bat, and it's enticing. As you see this ball here, he thinks he might have a shot at Encarnacion. Realizes I'm not going to waste it trying to go get him. I'm going to get the force of the lead runner. That's a nice play.
So the Blue Jays, winners of 93 games during the regular season, 53 here at home, are down to their final out in Game 1. After the visiting teams won both wild card games the last 2 nights. Russell Martin, 1 for 3. Double came around to score in the 5th. Strike 1.
I just love the way Chirino sets a target. Sinker ball pitcher. Not only does he get outside on the corner, but we'll watch him get that glove actually below the strike zone. Look how low he keeps the target. Visual reminder, get that ball down.
Fingers crossed in Toronto. Runner goes. Martin swings and misses. Strike 2 as Smoke takes second base.
Conversation right now is basically going over the signs and saying with the runner at second base what you want to do.
More postseason action coming up next. Game 1, Astros and Royals. Then tomorrow, Game 2 of this series on MLB Network. Game 2, Astros and Royals, 3 Eastern, Fox Sports 1. Blue Jays down to their final strike.
Well, they started with a pitcher that was pounding the ball away, and they're finishing with it. As you see, Gallardo had the same game plan, so you're talking about Chirino's target, Tom. He's had all day to do that. He's done a nice job of handling it.
The outfield, complete no doubles defense. You are defending the batter, not the runner on second. Keep the ball in front of you. Keep Martin off second base if he does get a hit.
Visit to the mound once again from Chirinos.
You know, a lot of times when you have guys come out of the bullpen, every guy has their own sequence of signs. So it's not universal. Seems like starting pitchers, hey, 1's a fast, 2's a curve, 3's a slider. We're going to go whatever sequence you decide on. Guys out of the bullpen, it seems like every guy has his own idea of how they want the signs called and what they're going to use.
Well, 1-2 to Martin. And he fouls it back.
See no doubles defense. Look at Will Venable in left field. If he's any deeper, he's going to have to buy a ticket.
Or join the guys in the bullpen. A 1-2 from Dyson. The third baseman Alberto will apply the tag, and the Texas Rangers win Game 1 in Toronto. A very happy Gallardo, who grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, picks up the win in Game 1 for his Texas Rangers. David Price suffers his 6th defeat in the postseason in 6 career starts.
I was going to say they execute the game plan to perfection. Gallardo not giving them one in, making guys work. You execute your offense with guys running and putting that pressure on. We saw everything they bring tonight.
And part of that game plan was to take the crowd out of the game. This place took me back to my childhood at the beginning. And remember Jiffy Pop popcorn?
Yeah.
I thought this place was going to blow. Instead, the Rangers get out and score first, and Gallardo makes it hold up. Impressive job on the road.
Our Bank of America play of the game. We take you back to the top of the 5th inning. In his first career postseason game, Robinson Chirinos goes deep, a 2-run shot. That gave the Rangers a 4-1 lead. The number 8 and 9 hitters in the Texas batting order, Odor and Chirinos, combined to score 4 of the 5 Texas runs. Downstairs to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Kenny. Robinson, you had the big 2-run homer, but first Gallardo. This place was loud. It was crazy. Why is he so successful against the Blue Jays when other pitchers aren't?
First, I have to give the glory to God and everything he's done with his team. And Joe has been great against the Blue Jays the whole year. He's throwing his fastball down outside and make it hard for those guys to square the ball. He's throwing his slider away. And, I mean, he was the right guy to go in the first game.
5th inning against Price, none out. Odor's on first. What were you thinking?
Elvis, he keeps saying to me like to be aggressive early in the count. And my first at bat, I took the first pitch for a strike. And after Odor got hit the first pitch, I faced to Bond. I was like, I'm gonna give him one pitch, and he threw it up in the strike zone. And I was looking fastball middle in. He threw it like up in the strike zone, and I was able to square and hit out the park.
Obviously, we all know what Adrian Beltre means to this team. What was the reaction, Robinson, when he went out of the game?
Oh, I mean, it's sad to see AV go out. I mean, he have to be painful for him to go out. He's the leader of this team. I've been praying God, hopefully, if nothing serious, we can have him tomorrow in the lineup again.
Robinson, congratulations. Thank you. Kenny, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ken. So without Beltre since the 3rd inning, the Rangers win it. Chirinos, the 2-run shot. His battery mate, Gallardo, now 3-0 in 3 starts against the Blue Jays this season. For Harold and Tom and Ken, this is Kenny saying so long. From Toronto, we'll send you to our studio in Los Angeles after this break.